into authentic conversations about ourselves and our community, exploring topics that uplift and inspire us, from personal growth to social change. So grab your teacup and get ready to join the conversation.
And shivers up my spine as she replied with the menace only a mother can. I don't believe you, Sean. Sean looked at her with a sadness that I knew in my soul to be fake. Although looking at him without context, anyone would believe him as he replied, I'm sorry to hear that. Today I know he was able to muster that false sincerity because he's a sociopath. Back then I thought it was compassion. With no more words, Miss Wallace stood up and left. Sean watched her exit with disbelief. Not knowing what to do, I placed my order. Dinner that night was long and silent. I feared for Miss Wallace's life. Sean is most dangerous when he feels threatened. No, she could not physically threaten him, but this threat was very real. If she goes public with her accusation, Sean's image would be damaged. I have felt for myself the extent he will go through in order to protect that image. Now, if this book is false, all Miss Wallace got to do is come forward and claim that this whole dinner that is being alleged in Kim's alleged tell-all book didn't happen. Because the only other person aside from Sean who would know that this exact dinner took place would be Biggie Small's mother. If this book is false, Miss Wallace would be able to corroborate that. But if I'm not mistaken, Miss Wallace had an outburst a few months ago, her damn self on social media, basically asking for Sean's head. So it's given that this might have been Kim's actual words. All right, chapter 13. The fact of the matter is, Sean was a complete control freak. He was absolutely the worst. But all of the things he did for control, this might have been one of the most despicable ones. We were in the bad boy's office one evening, sitting in the lounge area, enjoying a meal. Sean was smoking one of those big cigars he liked when Faith entered and sat down with us. She seemed relaxed as she said, "Hey guys." I smiled. I never had any bad vibe from the marvelous Faith Evans. We never talked about the wild time the three of us shared at one of Sean's parties. I gave her a hug. "Hey girl, what's up?" Sean smiled and asked, "Hey, what brings you out?" I addressed Sean saying, "Look, when you asked me to hook up with Chris, I understood. You needed to control him. I felt honored that you would choose me to monitor one of your most valuable assets. Chris is sweet." Sean laughed and said, "Honestly, I knew you would be good." make the big man feel loved. I don't feel good about all this. Sean got that look into his eyes he gets before he blows his top. Faith saw it also. She treaded carefully. Sean, you know I'm as royal as they come. Sean leaned forward, unintentionally threatening, and said in a low tone, yeah? But Sean, Chris and I had a child together. Sean leaned back. He let out a deep breath. I'm going to take care of you. You're not like Sean. You're loyal. Faith had a tear in her eye as she responded. He didn't have to die. This is getting very touchy. Did she know? Did she suspect? Was this her trying to find out if Sean intentionally unalived Biggie? I wanted to ask, but of course, there was no way of doing that. This is so crazy. Sean sighed and replied, he didn't. Don't get me wrong, I miss him. But he was leaving me anyway. No one cares about my pain. Classic narcissistic Sean. It's all about him. I was sickened for a moment, but his next sentence made me feel for him anyway. I wanted to share all of this with him. He was my man. Faith couldn't hide the anger that flared in her eyes, but she knew who she was talking to. She was careful as she spoke. Sean, you have your friends you share things with. Sean sat forward again, this time with malicious intention as he... A quarrel. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Chris has no one. Only you. Sean lost it. That fat fuck and that other piece of shit I had you fuck? I interjected while in shock. You had her fuck Pac? Sean glared at me as he answered. Yes, fucking Pac. Those motherfuckers were trying to start their own label and compete with me. Me! After all I did for that fat fuck, nah. I wasn't using resources to protect that motherfucker. No fucking way. As Faith started to cry, Sean looked at her and softened lightly. He spoke a little calmer. Look, I didn't hate him. I was hurt, but I didn't hate him. I'll make sure you and CJ are taken care of. Without words, Faith got up to leave. As she turned, Sean spoke softly. Faith. She ignored him. He called to her again. Faith. She exited quickly. Sean just looked at me and said, damn. I didn't really know what to say. Sean just told Faith that he wouldn't protect her husband because he was going to leave Bad Boy. From a business perspective, I didn't disagree with Sean there. Wow. Kim just went from narcissistically abused victim to woo child. She agreed with the way Diddy handled this issue over business. But yet, early on in the book, was crying aloud about how scared and disgusted she was. If you're leaving and creating competition for him, why would he spend resources on you? So I hugged Sean, but I also knew he didn't have to send Chris to California. I wondered if he realized that he sentenced him to death. He hugged me, back with tears, his eyes as he asked, how the fuck am I the bad guy, huh? I fucking do nothing but bust my ass to make everyone live comfortably, and I'm supposed to just let niggas walk all over me. As I held him in a comforting embrace, I replied, no, baby. He took me right there on the couch. Like I said, Stockholm Syndrome. Shout out to the 730 folk in the building. Subscribe if you're new here. Thumbs up the video. Chapter 14, Outshine. Shine spelled S-H-Y-N-E. This particular evening, I was at Sean's house and Quincy was staying with a friend. It was some alone time for Sean and I until the doorbell rang, and Sean got up to answer it. I heard a woman yelling and quickly realized Jennifer Lopez, or better known as, to the world, J-Lo, or better known to me, J-Ho. Sean, what the fuck? She blasted. Sean responded calmly, relax, baby, relax. Why the hell did you have to start shooting? Isn't that what we have bodyguards for? Normally, when these kinds of situations arise, I remain quiet and just listen. I play my position, you could say. But I wasn't paying attention to the news for the last day or so, and even though it would be the only thing anyone would talk to me about for months, no one has spoken to me about it yet. So I entered the foyer asking, what's going on? Jennifer exploding, what's going on? What's going on? This nigga shot up a damn club. My jaw dropped, looking back and forth between the two. Sean spoke soothingly. Jen, you gotta calm down. Jennifer was having none of it. She continued, calm down, calm down. You shot a bunch of innocent people, Sean. Sean placed his hand on her forearm. It's a bonding technique. He was shrewd in handling her. He does this to me too. Even if you know what's going on, even if you know what's happening, it works. It's an intimate contact without being personal. He was aiming to disarm her. This did not seem to immediately sway Jennifer as she continued. Why in the hell did you think Biggie's replacement would take the fall for you? Biggie's replacement? Wait, she could be talking about, I had to know. Are you talking about Shine? Jennifer didn't even look at me as she responded. Yes, fucking Shine. Sean continued with a calm and even voice. Relax. The situation is under control. Jennifer was not calming down. She went on. They contacted my attorney for my statement. And there's a lot of witnesses, Sean. There is no way you're going to get away with this. Sean's arrogance can be immeasurable at times. He laughed as he asked, you're doubting me? I couldn't believe it. I had to know. Sean, what could you offer him that would make him do a bid for you? Like, what the fuck? Jennifer also remarked. And what if his falters, and what if he falters halfway through his sentence and starts talking? Sean responded as calmly as ever. He won't do that. People in jail don't cross-connected people on the outside. Jennifer looked deflated. So you would kill him also? How much does she know? Look, I'm not going to threaten anyone. Sean is smart and loyal. He knows how it works. And when he gets out, he'll be well taken care of. Jennifer spoke defiantly. Sean, they want to question me. I'm not perjuring myself. I'm not going to jail over this. Sean seemed so in control. I admired him for it as at this point, but my spirit was broken. I felt bad for Jennifer. She catches one bad break after another, and this was really a bad break. Sean spoke with confidence. Relax. Come in and have a drink. Have your lawyers call mine. You'll never see the witness stand, I promise. Jennifer wasn't so sure. She asked him, how can you possibly know that? Sean smiled as he replied, between Shine's confession and the witnesses that gave their accounts, the cops won't need much else. The statement from your lawyer will be fine. Jennifer's next concern popped up. She explained, my attorney. Sean, he's good, but he won't do that. Beaming with confidence, the way only a man with his net worth can, Sean responded, sure he will. Jennifer shook her head defiantly as she responded, Sean, you don't know him. Sean's unbreakable confidence was ruling the day. Jennifer was giving in and told her with a smile, I got this. Sean, are you sure? Sean gave a wink. My attorneys handle situations. Give him my number too. Jennifer seemed leery as she asked, you're not going to threaten my attorney? Sean laughed as he replied, no, of course not. Money talks, baby. He turned to me and said, take her inside and pour her a drink. I had questions of my own. But you were going to make Shine the label's go-to man? What are you going to do now? Sean looked disappointed as he responded. He had the voice, but his flow, he sighed. Well, artists with his talent are a dime a dozen. Looking at Jen, he continued. He's not a once-in-a-lifetime find like Jennifer Lopez. Now he's throwing on the charm. Despite the situation, she blushed slightly. Sean continued, let's grab that drink. Let me handle the attorney situation. Relax. Don't worry. We left the foyer and went to have a seat in the living room. He tried to make a threesome happen that night. It didn't work out. Not that day. And guess what, baby? After Sean and Diddy ass got the pow in that damn club, y'all ain't never seen Jennifer Lopez ass in a bandana and bantu knots and cornrows and saggy pants ever again, baby. When that bitch came out and got real with the Hispanic part of her motherfucking lineage, bitch. Okay? And this chapter alludes to the fact that there definitely was a threesome between Kim, Sean, and J-Lo, just not on that day. Baby. Chapter 15, Queen Bitch. Kimora Simmons and I went out to have drinks. She was looking at me seductively, and I was turned on. We were gonna go back to my place afterwards, but suddenly after a sip of my drink, I felt like I had to vomit. I excused myself and barely made it to the ladies' room. When I came back, Kimora asked, "Feeling okay?" "I'm fine. I've been under the weather the last couple of days. I think I'll head home." She said, "Your breasts are looking kind of plump there, girl." Embarrassed, I whispered, "Not in public." She replied simply, "Are you pregnant?" I was taken completely aback. Why the hell would you say that? She let it sit there for a minute. I bet in her head she was like, wait for it. Then it hit me. Shit! She gave me a minute before continuing. "So what you gonna do?" I didn't understand. Gonna do? If it's not Sean's, fuck. If it is, with the shock wearing off, the scope of the situation began to take a hold. I responded, "I better get a test." She looked at me with pity. "Damn, girl, good luck. After what he did to Chris, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes." The desire that was in her eyes before I got sick was all but gone. As I began to stand, I realized what she said to me, and I paused. She looked at me flatly and said, "Ain't nobody stupid, girl." I didn't know what to say. The question still lingering in my mind despite everything I knew. Did Puffy intentionally unalive Chris? She brought me back to the moment by saying, "Go." Not knowing what else to say, but knowing I had to deal with my situation right now, I replied, I'll hit you up." She sighed and simply repeated, "Good luck." So, chapter 15 establishes that Kimora Lee Simmons is gay as fuck and was flipping and laughing and carpet munching with Kimora Lee Simmons in the wee hours of the night after fancy dinners at high-end ass hotels that the average person can't eat in the lobby of, bitch. Alright? Chapter 16, Christian. The next day, I was sitting on the couch in deep in thought when I heard the doorbell ring. I went to let Sean in. This was going to be scary. We made our way back to the living room and we sat down. Quincy was asleep. Sean seemed legitimately concerned. "What's so urgent?" I didn't know what else to do. I just blurted it out. "I'm pregnant." The air in the room was as thick as J-Lo. He was quiet. What is he thinking? He asked the obvious question, "Are you sure?" I spoke rapidly. "I was on a pill. I'll get rid of it. I'm sorry. I just wanted you to know." "That's wonderful. This is great." I was so confused. "Huh? You're not mad?" He laughed. "Mad? No. Why would I be mad at this wonderful news? I'm going to be a dad with the woman I love burying my child. What could possibly be better?" He jumped right on the phone and called one of his besties. I could hear Will Smith congratulating him. Sean said, "Yeah, definitely, hold on. Kim, baby." I was still in awe of the fact that he didn't get angry. And yes, I will admit, I was sure he was going to hit me. So it was relief when I replied, "Yes." He told me excitedly, "We gotta have a party." His excitement was contagious. I was getting really excited too. "Yes, a gender reveal." And he cut me off. "Yes, of course. We're doing all of that. But everyone is going to want to sleep with you right before you give birth." My heart sank in my chest. "Everybody's going to want a what?" Sean went on with the same excitement. "Well, not everybody, you know. Will, Jada." Blurred out, "Sean, I'm having your baby." He verbally waved me off. "It'll be fine." I couldn't help myself. I just started crying. Sean grew quiet on the phone, then spoke low. "I'll call you back." He hung up and took me by the hand. "Baby, I never asked anything from you." I tried to see him through the tears streaming down my face. I couldn't believe the words coming out of his mouth. I tried to speak. "Sean." He cut me off. "I provide everything anyone could ever want. Do you want for anything?" Sobbing, I replied, "No," but he continued, "This is the kind of thing I have to do in order to continue giving you this comfortable lifestyle where you live in a lap of luxury and you get to be on TV shows and in movies. I know you don't want this, but do you want all of this to go away? A whimper is all I could manage. No. He could... Oh, baby, that's back to that conversation, baby, about some of these people, girl, are somewhere between victimhood and willingly selling their souls because the materiality and the lack of luxury and the glitz and glam of it all is just a little bit more important than their dignity and their salvation is. Sad, sad combination of shit. Where was I? He continued softly, then we gotta do this. I said, but Sean, I don't believe in all the spiritual crazy shit. We got here because you're brilliant, not because of the sex parties, he replied. Do you trust me? I did. My soul was so broken, I did. I responded, yes. He sighed as he said, then let's do what we need to do to keep what we have. As I nodded yes, he pulled me in to hug me. Thank you, baby. We're going to have a beautiful baby. He ordered me some food that night. I cried myself to sleep. I was going to be gang banged. Did y'all find the bush? I was going to be gang banged at 9 months pregnant. Did y'all find the bush? I requested a bush about 20 minutes ago. I want my children out of this life. My child's going to have a good biblical name, a heavy Christian name. They are not going to take his soul. Did y'all find the bush?
I need another drink of Hennessy and tea,
This
girl.
woman said
I need another hot toddy.
that she was going to be gang banged at 9 months pregnant. Oh, there's the bush. Thank you for the multiple bushes, baby. Because I'm going to be crying all night long
I got my tissue.
in those bushes for Kim.
I got my tissue.
Chapter 17. Broken Promises. I don't know how this managed to stay out of the media for so long, but Sean got to the point where he was incredibly abusive and only his inner circle knew about it. The artists were all too afraid of him to say anything. He had gained so much power, no one would say anything. Puff Daddy was a kingpin. This Monday afternoon, Quincy was in school and our son Christian was with his nanny. I still had to make a living. I still loved the camera and had to just cast for a new movie. Sean was coming over to celebrate with me, just the two of us. I was in a bathroom when he came in. We were supposed to go for dinner, but he was in a foul mood. Sean yelled, "What the fuck?" I would have to walk on eggshells as I came out of the bathroom, but I found him holding flowers, so I smiled. "You brought me flowers?" Sean yelled, "No." "So who the fuck are they from?" I was bewildered and told him honestly, "I don't know. Probably just a fan." He threw the attached card at me. I picked it up to read it. He slapped me so hard I hit the ground. Sean yelled, "Who the fuck were you with the other night?" I looked down at the card that was laying on the ground next to me and it read, "The other night was amazing. We must do it again." Shit, I tried to explain. "Sean," he threw the flowers at me. "That's not how this works. You have my child. You don't touch anyone unless I allow it." I yelled back, "It was just coffee with the producer. It was nothing." He glared at me and asked, "Who the fuck is this producer?" I was trying desperately to calm him down as I responded, "From the movie, baby, calm down." He picked up the coffee mug and slammed it against the wall. Coffee flew everywhere as he yelled, "Who the fuck does this nigga think he is?" "Sean, he's just some producer. We talked about the role and me maybe starring in another movie that he wants to produce. I swear that's it, Sean." Sean exploded even more. He wants to put the move on my fucking family at the top of his lungs. My fucking family. Lift the table. Break it. It was a heavy table, but Sean is stronger than he looks. I pleaded with him, "Sean, please." He yelled at me, "What?" I tried my best to calm him down. He probably didn't know. He didn't come up. "You're publicly dating someone else," so he screamed at me, and it somehow seemed even more intense. "So you didn't think to tell him back off?" "Sean, I didn't." And then out of nowhere, he hit me with the chair. I don't remember anything after that until I woke up in a hospital room. My arm was in a cast hanging from a sling. My face hurt. My eyebrow was in immense pain, as was my lip. As I came to, the first face I saw was of the man that put me there. Sean asked with concern in his voice, how are you feeling? I responded, stay away from me. I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me. I save it for the lawyer. Stay away from me. We were in a private hospital room and no one could hear me. I could scream like my life depended on it, but it wouldn't matter. If I did ring for assistance, I wouldn't get any. He kept going. I was just so jealous. You know how I am. He took hold of my left arm, the one that was not slung up in a cast. You have our beautiful son, our family. It's just, at that point I had enough. The one you slutted out right before giving birth? Are you fucking shitting me? Stay away from me. Don't come near me. You're my kids. He continued to plead. I'm sorry, baby. I promise. I'll never put my hands on you again. I swear. I heard this song one too many times. I spoke through gritted teeth. If you come near me or my kids again, I'll call the cops. A flash of anger returned. You would use my kid to threaten me? But then he caught himself. I understand you're angry. I glared at him as I cut him off. I'm serious, Sean. He spoke blandly, with no energy. And tell them what? That you had a car accident? They'll pity you. That hit your head? That you hit your head? He was going to make me look crazy. They were going to believe him. He was a kingpin. You a fucking bastard. Sean spent the next 6 months helping me heal and working his way back into my life and into my bed. I was so damn stupid, and of course, I wasn't cast for either movie. From what I understand, the producer died of pneumonia. Thank you for my bushes, everyone in the chat. Continue to supply me with my bushes, baby. Chapter 18. Let's take a 15. I'm sorry, y'all. I was taking a swish. I said, I really want to do a panel after this, but I'm kind of so spent because I was on a panel for an hour and a half. Now I've been up here doing this damn intense read for almost over 2 hours. But I feel like we got to talk about this shit. And I don't know if I want to wait till tomorrow, girl. I kind of want to talk while this shit is freshly in everybody's mind. Chapter 18, Sweet Goodbye. Sean kept his word for the most part until he didn't. I ended up pregnant again. He wanted energy from that too. Wow, that terminology. He wanted energy from that too. That would be my last sex party. My body would never be ravaged by so many people again, especially while I'm pregnant. What if something happened to the twins? After that, I wanted out. But when I tried dating someone else, they would end up dead from pneumonia. I knew Sean was behind it. This was not a coincidence. He gets jealous of a guy and they die of pneumonia, I could be next. If I'm going to get out of this alive, I'm going to have to do something to make him stay away from me. I had a plan, but it's dangerous. Sean has a vault where he keeps videotapes of all of his conquests. I started sleeping with him again. After he falls asleep, he was starting to drink heavily. I would get into the vault and get a copy of the tapes, take them home, make copies, and swap them for the next set of tapes a few days later. It took weeks to get them all copied, and he never knew that I had them. This was my way out. Some of the tapes had things I would have never expected. The gay parties are one thing, but the young boys like Usher, Little Bow Wow, and Justin Bieber, I would have never known. My God, is he grooming Quincy? This has to end. the bush. The bush. I invited him over one day to confront him and put to an end to our on-again, off-again relationship. He entered my home unannounced for the last time. He would no longer have the key after today. I was in the kitchen. Kamor and I were sharing drinks. I was scared to face him alone. Sean entered smiling. "What's up, Kimmy?" "Hey, Maura." I told Sean sit down. Because of my tone, he looked at me, stunned, and asked, "What's going on? What is this?" I responded with delight. "You're taking my life back. We're done." He answered, "Hold on, wait a minute." I was so excited that I wasn't hearing any of it. I shouted at him, "No, no more. This is fucking over." He looked confused as he asked, "Where's all this coming from?" With disgust, I said, "I got the footage, Sean." He looked even more confused as he inquired, "What are you talking about?" Kamora said with revulsion, "Usher too?" Sean said, "Wait, what the fuck is going on?" Sean stood aggressively, and Kamora responded, "Don't make me call the cops." Sean's anger was creeping as he replied, "This is how it is?" I simply nodded. "If anything happens to either one of us, it gets released." He seethed as he quivered. "After all I've done for you."
Thanks for watching. Remember to show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. It's a blessing. Keep your teacups filled and ready for my next upload. Until then, stay inspired and remember, always stay dipping.